laid at the bed of my mother as she prayed for relief in vain. For the prayer lines that night were all jammed up tight. There was a game at Notre Dame. The priest, he came for a visit. She asked when her prayer would go through. He said, I wish you well, but your SOL if there's a game at Notre Dame. 80,000 fans are praying at the stadium. Millions more cause the game's televised. If there's a ball in the air, your prayer ain't got a prayer when there's a game at Notre Dame. If you pray for the end of world hunger or peace for mankind to begin, better first go online, check the dates and the times of the games at Notre Dame. 80,000 fans are praying at the stadium. Millions more cause the game's televised. If there's a ball in the air, your prayer ain't got a prayer when there's a game at Notre Dame. The priest said lay back and rest now, but mama said I want to sit up and pray. He said just do it for me, your head's blocking the TV and there's a game at Notre Dame. 80,000 fans are praying at the stadium. Millions more cause the game's televised. If there's a ball in the air, your prayer ain't got a prayer when there's a game at Notre Dame. Even the Pope gave up trying to get Jesus on the line when there's a game at Notre Dame.
What's up, everyone? Sean of the Two Irish Brothers Show here. I know we for sure have one watching. Welcome in on this amazing Friday night. Don't expect much of a big crowd because I'm sure a lot of people are out, for high school football games and whatnot. I actually have my alma mater on my phone going on right here. The Geneseo Maple Leafs. They are hosting the Galesburg Silver Streaks tonight in Galesburg is about to score, and they've only ran like 3 plays the whole game. Kid just took it like 75, 80 yards to the house. But anyway, so my high school, we've been playing in the what's known as the Western Big Six Conference here in Illinois the past, I think we've been in for 4 or 5 years now. And in my opinion, not to trash on my Geneseo brethren, but it was a mistake to join that conference. So how's everybody doing tonight? Whoever's watching, pop in and say something. Didn't really have anything much to say in particular. Just wanted to go live and catch up with you guys. And Ben, he may show up, but it's not guaranteed. He's had a long week at work, but he did say I could go solo. And he was not going to be offended by that. JF Priest, greetings from Pennsylvania. Welcome aboard. Nice to see you here, Priest. Oh, before I forget, as usual, anybody who wants to jump in and talk for a few minutes, here is the link to get into the show, and I am posting that here in the live chat right now. But yeah, I'm checking out my high school alma mater. They're in action tonight. Thankfully, Western Big Six has its own network and stuff. But yeah, so we're in our first year with a new head coach at my high school alma mater. And I know when you have a new coach, that's going to be a big part of it. You're going to have your growing pains because you're learning from one another, coach to player. I get that. But so far we're 2-2, and in the 2 losses, it's just been ugly, very ugly. And if we lose tonight, you can pretty much count us out of the conference race. That's for sure. But just, if you're big into high school football, and especially if you played yourself, it hurts to see him struggle. But just, I'm sorry. I know these kids are working hard, but through all 4 games prior to tonight, defense has been atrocious. And these kids, I'm sorry, they can't tackle for shit. But all I know is with Notre Dame, they better make sure they bring their A game tomorrow and not miss any tackles and hit it hard, or else chances for the playoffs down the shitter. So yeah, if you see me looking down, guys, that's why I'm watching on my phone. But yeah, anybody have any questions or comments? Don't hesitate to leave them. I will answer those questions as honestly as I possibly can, even if it's a truth that hurts. But I will give my guys credit here, though. They're tearing it up on offense, because they are just plowing through Galesburg with the run. And I heard the announcers. Actually, one of them is the former head coach that I played for back in the day. I guess Galesburg gives up like 38 points a game, which says it all. But anyway, guys, getting back to the focus of what this channel is for, Notre Dame football, just a few thoughts that I have. And I've said this in a few comments on here and on Ben and I's Twitter page, but it's really crazy, 3-1. Notre Dame sitting 3-1. And there's a lot of it feels like a rainy day outside. Because you just see it amongst the fan base and what people are saying, and the comments that you read, you would think that our season's already over. And of course, any of you who caught the preview for Louisville last night, I mean, we can understand why. Inconsistent play, questionable coaching at various times, and as I've said a million times already, you should never let that happen in losing to Northern Illinois. I mean, I'm sorry, that's a disgrace. You should never let a lesser opponent come into your house, and even though it was only a 2-point loss, it never should have got there. You don't let a team like that come into your house and push you around. I know it's kind of like a Rudy quote there, but still. Oh, we got a first question of the live show. Is Marcus Freeman on the hot seat if Notre Dame does not make the playoffs this year? Well, his seat definitely deserves to be hot right now. I can tell you that much. Rightfully so. I mean, I like Freeman. I think he fireworks. We must have scored. Anyway. What was I going to say? Now, let's bring it up a notch. Like I said, his seat is already hot, I think, because you can't let this stuff keep happening, and like what happened to Northern Illinois, and then having your team be inconsistent. Because we've seen what's happened on the field. I mean, defense has played great, running game has been great, but all the silly gaffes on offense and the lack of a passing game, you can't have that. But no, he's already on the hot seat. But if Notre Dame doesn't make the playoffs, that seat's going to get even hotter. Like, personally, I don't think they'll fire him. I take that back. It just depends. It just depends. Like if things were to go completely to shit starting tomorrow and the season turns out disastrous, then yeah, I think he very well could easily be gone. Because that's, regression in your third year, which I could understand if it was like a very, very young and inexperienced team. But in this case, it's not. But no, that seat's, to answer your question, the short version, that seat has definitely gotten hot. And it got hot as soon as we lost to Northern. But it's just some of the things that Ben and I have been pointing out in recent episodes that we've done. Some of the things that Marcus Freeman has been saying in his post and pregame interviews, it leaves you thinking, what? What did he just say? It's almost like there's been times where he says things like, I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like he's hiding something. But just when, for example, a comment that he made after last week's game about Riley continuing to struggle in the passing game, and he says, listen, if the passing's become an issue, then when it comes to it, we'll just not call it. And what I hope that he meant to say was, we won't call that particular passing play. We'll call another passing play. That's what I hope he meant, because if he's saying just abandon the pass altogether, then that's ridiculous. So there's been some times with Freeman in his press conferences where you're just left scratching your head and wondering, what is he talking about? And myself, I can understand. He's only a third-year head coach overall. I mean, this is his first head coaching gig. And Ben's even said it himself. Is he in over his head? I don't know. I don't know what the heck's going on. But it's just, if this keeps up, I'll tell you this much. If this keeps up with Riley Leonard and he keeps remaining inconsistent in the passing game, then I think Freeman needs to swallow his pride, because I think this is a big part of it. He needs to swallow his pride and put in one of the backup quarterbacks just so we can function with the passing game. And I think, and what I mean by how this all correlates together is, yes, you really wanted Riley Leonard when he hit the transfer portal in the offseason. I get that. But if he's playing bad, then you have to make the right decision and put someone in who can make things happen. Someone who's consistent. It's like, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was great to get Riley Leonard. You saw a lot in him. I respect that. But if he's not working, then this is about the team here, not an individual. And I'm sorry. I think Riley Leonard's a very cool guy, a very likable guy, but it's team first. You have to do what's best for the team, not to, fulfill any obligations or what you think is an obligation. Like he doesn't owe Riley Leonard anything. And it should be with any player. If you screw up, if you're going backwards and you're, playing lousy, then you should be benched. And speaking on the quarterback position in general, I've heard a lot of people say across, Facebook groups and Twitter and whatnot, like, we need to stop with the bridge quarterback stuff, the transfer portal quarterbacks. Well, Freeman wasn't exactly left, and maybe I'm playing devil's advocate here a little bit, but he was not left with a very good quarterback situation when he was hired on as head coach. I mean, you had Drew Pine. He finished the 2021 season with Jack Cohn in the Fiesta Bowl. But really, I mean, he didn't really have a great quarterback situation. Tyler Buckner, Drew Pine, and Steve Angeli had just came in. But come on, he wasn't ready. Let's face it, he wasn't ready. I know that might be hard for a lot of people to hear, but Steve was not ready at that time to play. So I think what happened is Freeman was he was expecting Angeli to be ready, and I guess after that first year, Steve wasn't ready yet, so he figured, okay, we can go with another bridge quarterback. So that's when he goes and gets Hartman, and well, things didn't exactly work out with Hartman either. But then they get a commitment from C.J. Carr. So overall, what I think is he's setting it up to be C.J.'s team. That's another explanation that I could have ended in like 5 seconds. But what fun is that? What fun of a show is that if I'm only given 5-second answers? But I don't know. Maybe a part of him wanted Angeli to be the guy. I don't know. I'm just strictly speculating here, guys. If you guys have other opinions or other thoughts on what could be going on in Freeman's head, I'd love to hear it. But I will say this, in Freeman's first season, everybody was crapping on Drew Pine and whatnot. And I've said this a million times as well. I know there's a lot of things I've said a million times, but Drew Pine, man, in 2022, no, he didn't have the greatest numbers in the world, but he didn't have the worst either. Personally, he should have been starting that year. Should have been him. And all I know is Freeman should have put him in a lot sooner than what he did, because it was clear in that first half against Ohio State that year that Buckner wasn't the guy. But like I was saying, if it wasn't for Drew Pine, that 2022 season would have gone to shit in a heartbeat. I'm not saying that kid's an elite quarterback, but he was a quarterback right for the job in that particular scenario. And of course, there was everybody else around him. Don't get me wrong, but Drew Pine helped save our season. Because I would much rather, because let's see, we finished after the Gator Bowl. I think, yeah, 9-4 was our final record. Finished with a 9-4 season in Freeman's first year. I would much rather be 9-4 with a victory in the Gator Bowl than be 3 or 4 wins. Oh, hey, Renee. Renee says he agrees. I'm 100% correct. And from Utah. Oh, you love the shorts. Oh, well, thank you. No, those shorts that we post of like former moments in Notre Dame history and stuff. It's just we're not filming it every night, so we just want to put something, and that's why we post all those highlights, those little shorts every day. So let's see what's going on here. Okay, well, my guys tied it all up. It is 14-all with a minute left in the first quarter. Geneseo against Galesburg. God, they cannot stop this running back, though. I think he already has like well over 100 yards. Yeah, man, remembering watching all those games. I remember watching a lot of them too. I was born in 86, so a lot of my memories come from the early to mid 90s. So I mean, yeah, I was alive for that national championship year, but I obviously I don't really remember watching it or being able to enjoy it. Yeah, all I know is tomorrow, guys, Riley has got to get it together. He has to get the passing game going. I hope the second half was a good indication that he is on the up and up. But as I've been saying for the last few weeks now, if he goes back to being inconsistent, then Freeman has got to have the other two guys ready. So, but of course, every game on the schedule is a must win, but this game is a must win in particular because this is another, okay, prove that you belong game. No, I mean, it's bad enough that we're in the hole early because of that really bad loss to Northern Illinois. And it's like, why do we do this to ourselves? Because this has been a recent trend that's been happening too much. I agree. Yeah, I think we are wasting talent. Yeah, see, here's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad somebody here brought that up. See, I've had all these quote unquote realists, as you guys always hear me talk about, which basically, for those of you who are new to watching, basically when these people who always call themselves realists, and again, here's the story, goes all the way back to 2020 during the COVID season when we made the playoff. And before the game was even played against Alabama, everybody was getting all doom and gloom. And in a 2-month period, I've never heard the word realist used more in my life. Well, I take it back. I guess it would have been a 1-month period. But no, I heard that word all over the place. Realist, 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 realist. Well, basically, when someone says that they're a realist, they're just someone who has no faith in the team and just really doesn't give a shit. And they're also the kind of fan that they care more about wanting to be right than, loving, than actually following and caring for the team. And that just says that a person like that, in my opinion, really has a lot of problems. Like, if that's all you care about is just wanting to be right, then man, what kind of life are you living? It's like, I'm pissed off about losing to Northern too, but you got to look forward. You can't just keep living in that moment. You have to eventually move on. Same with the other bad losses that we've had is, like to Marshall and to Stanford in the same year. And last year, there really wasn't one of those. I mean, all the teams that we lost to last season, it's not surprising that we lost to them because they were good teams. Ohio State was a really good team. Clemson was a good team. And even Louisville, they were a good team last year. So, but yeah, it's just, I just can't stand those kind of people. But anyway, to get to my point about that comment, I had this one big fat ass with Bucky Beaver looking teeth. The guy had to have been at least 400 pounds. I'm not going to say his name because, he's not worth giving that attention to as far as, because I think he does a show here on YouTube as well. So I'm not going to help promote his show. But he sends me a personal message one day saying, see, I told you that our receivers weren't worth a shit and this and that. What? I mean, I know our receivers aren't a bunch of 5-stars across the board, but they're pretty damn good. And it has not been their fault for the lack of a passing game. Because let me tell you guys something. You go back and you look at replays and stuff, and Mike Goolsby, on his Twitter account, he does this thing where he breaks down plays and shows you what's going on. Great job. And in a number of those videos, you are seeing so many wide open guys that Riley is just completely missing. So it's not a matter of our receivers not getting separation or just stinking up the joint. It's having a quarterback that can't get the ball to him. But yeah, it's just going back to all that. It's just, these fans who They claim they're super fans of Notre Dame, but yet all they do is shit on the team and just care about wanting to be right. What kind of fan is that? It's shit. That's what it is. But let's catch up on some of the comments here. I saw a few pop up. Okay, I covered that one. Yes, Brian and Sarah, whoever's here and whoever isn't, would if it's both of you, great. If it's one of you, no, definitely. We crapped the bed down in Louisville last year, so it's time to get some payback. And I really hope this team is playing with a chip on its shoulder, because we need to be. I mean, that game, I remember that last year, that game was just the shits from the start. In my honest opinion, there is something nagging Riley Leonard. Injury or issues with his previous surgery. Something. I agree. There's just something that hasn't been looking right. And we said this in a past video. If he's hurt or if there's something going on, if he's not understanding the system, because yes, I get it. He didn't play in the spring game, which of course is a big part of the practice. I get that. We all know that. But regardless, it doesn't matter. If there's something wrong, just address it. Pull him out for a little bit if you have to. Because you can't just have him figuring things out on the fly. Because that's what kills us. Because if you're hurt, you're hurt. Injuries come with the game. I'll be honest, I was the biggest Freeman supporter and loved that we hired him, but I can't say I have full confidence in him. Well, it's understanding to hear you say that, or to see you say that, I should say, since it was through a comment. With, like I said, with what he's been saying in his press conferences, things that just are making you go, what? What did he say? Personally, I think you don't have full confidence in him because he doesn't have full confidence in himself right now. Because it's like, what's going on here? It's almost like what JF Priest said about something nagging Riley. It's like they're hiding something. What is it that you're hiding? If there's something going on, just address it. That I agree. The losses last year aren't as bad as these. Yeah, exactly. Because see, when it comes to a big team like them, like Clemson and Ohio State, Alabama, Michigan, whoever, okay, if we lose to those guys, I hate it. Yes, it sucks, but it's not overly shocking because they're all top programs. They're all well coached. Hell, even Louisville last year, they're not the one of the top dogs in all of college football. I mean, I guess technically so, since they are top 25. But you guys know what I'm saying. What I'm getting at is Louisville is not expected to win the national championship this year. I'm sure you guys get what I'm trying to say, even though it might be coming out wrong. But they're not exactly a slouch either. They're not a bad team. So I wasn't overly shocked when we lost to them. But when you get these schools from the Sun Belt and the MAC, just like all these teams that we have no business losing to, and we shouldn't lose to, especially at home, you can't help but wonder if there's something going on. And that's cool. If you personally prefer Angeli, that's great. I mean, I don't care who's in there. I just want to win. I love Tommy and I love Tommy and Pine also. I think Tommy was he wasn't bad, but he wasn't the best. And like I said, with Drew Pine, same category, but I give him all the credit in the world because he helped save our season. We get the passing game going, we will be a solid team. And also, I should mention, too, that a big factor with this team is a very young offensive line. And now on top of that, we're down 2 starters. So that definitely plays a factor as well. So I guess you can't 100% put everything on Riley Leonard. Not 100%. But I will say it's not like this line has been giving them only 1 second to throw. They've been stepping up. But, we get that passing game going, we're going to be pretty damn solid. Give our defense a lead and let them CB and safety. Yes. Yeah, losing to one of the top guys hurt. Losing to NIU hurts and is embarrassing. Tell me about it. I mean, seriously, tell me about it. Of course, the coaches and the players are hurting more than anybody else, but that doesn't mean it's easy on us fans. I mean, do you guys have any idea how hard it was for Ben and I to even show our face after something like that? Even going back to Marshall as well. It is hard to show up here and do a video after such an embarrassing loss like that. Because I'm sure you guys were no different than us when that happened, that loss to Northern Illinois. Excuse me. When that loss to Northern happened, I was physically ill. No joke. I was physically ill because we're supposed to be this top team, this elite team, and we just got beat by some average at best team from up the road. At least for me anyway. I mean, a team that had no business beating us, that we completely shit the bed against. And now, of course, you have all these Northern fans out there that are thinking, "Oh yeah, we're number one. We're number one." And then then they go on to lose to Buffalo the very next week, last week, because the week after us they had a bye. But yeah, they go on to lose to Buffalo. Yeah. So pardon my French, but what the fuck? How do you lose to a team like that? It's just inexcusable. Let's see here. If you total all the points, we lost by it's only a touchdown each game. Yeah. Yeah. Drew Pine win 10 games at ND, brother. Is there a start that I'm missing? Because he won 8 games with us. But then, of course, he sat out the Sun Bowl. Or I'm sorry, the Gator Bowl. I meant the Gator Bowl. He sat out because he won 8 games for us. Sat out the Gator Bowl. Were there some starts that he missed in the previous season that I forgot about? See, because wins, you can't count wins that he came in relief for. I mean, I thought it was only 8 wins. Score update. Miami 14, Virginia Tech 14, second quarter. Might have to put that one on. Last year. Okay. I'm catching up on comments here. Because Let's see. Oh, I might be wrong. He came in for the Wisconsin and finished it. Okay, maybe that's what we're both thinking of. Because he didn't start the Wisconsin game that year. That was that was 2021 against Jack with Jack Cohn. But no, he definitely has 8 wins under his belt at Notre Dame for sure. But see, Buckner started the first 2 games. Then Drew Pine started the Cal game the week after the loss to Marshall. And then from that point on, and then from Cal on, it was all him until the Gator Bowl, which he then decided he was going to transfer. So in that span, he went 8-2. But it's okay. I'm not trying to correct you or anything. I was trying to figure that out myself. Okay, and going back to my high school alma mater, Geneseo, for a second, it is still 14-14. Galesburg just missed the go-ahead field goal. But yeah, I'm going to put that game on, the Virginia Tech Miami game. Let's see, could this be the year that Miami is finally back? What do you guys think? Hulu. Ah, here it is. Virginia Tech, Miami. Okay, yeah, 5:25 left in the second. Virginia Tech has the lead, 21-14. So, let's see what the Hokies can do here. This one should get interesting. All I know is I don't like to look too far ahead, but if we were able to somehow pull off 11-1 and just run the table here, people think that still won't get us in just because of the Northern loss, which I think a lot of people are just saying that out of anger. But if we go 11-1 and run the table and with what we have left, then we should still be fine. I'm kind of hoping our buddy Nick Dean shows up because I want to talk to him. If you guys haven't seen what I'm about to say yet, make sure you go check it out. But Nick Dean, the White Castle Slider champion. And what I'm talking about is he did a White Castle slider challenge for us that we put up on our page here. And thing is, he told us after we posted that video and made it public and whatnot, he asked us why we didn't do any post-game or post-challenge commentary on that video. I said, screw that, man. I want to talk to you on a live stream. Because what he did was awesome. And Ben and I are starting to realize it's probably more doable than we thought it was. But in this video, Nick's challenge was he had to take down 15 White Castle sliders and then down it with a pint of Guinness in under 20 minutes. And he did it. You guys really should go watch the video, see how awesome it was. Oh, but my goodness. No, if we can just figure out this passing game for the Irish, then no, we're going to be good down the stretch if we can do that. But I got to be honest with you guys, this is where it's really kind of depressing as a fan, because here we are 3-1. Yes, I wish we didn't have that one on the schedule, but we're a winning team right now. But yet so many people in our fan base feel like the season's over. And it sucks seeing that. But it's just, so far, it's in my opinion, it's just been one of those seasons where it's crap all around. Like, you lose to a team that you shouldn't have lost to. You have inconsistent play from your quarterback who was highly touted and sought after in the portal, and he hasn't done it. At least not in the passing game. And now it's just like there's this negative energy surrounding everything. Because you got a lot of pissed off fans, plenty of fans being negative. And then, I see something posted. I forget who it was that posted it on Twitter, talking about their experience going to Notre Dame and how they're actually being told to sit down and be quiet. And that it not only was it from a fan sitting behind them, but from an usher as well. Somebody please tell me, what major program does that? What program tells their fans to sit down and be quiet? I mean, I've only been to a handful of other stadiums. Like, I've been to Camp Randall. We didn't go inside for the game, but I've been to Kinnick in Iowa City where the Hawkeyes play. I want to say there was another stadium that I've been to, but I forget which one it was. Actually, I think that might be it. But regardless, in a major program like Notre Dame, you do not tell your fans to sit down and be quiet. And I think that's a problem here, because the fans play as big a role as anything else. Because, you give off this negative vibe from, a bad loss, saying F this team, they suck, blah, 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 blah. Well, something that we got to think about is if we're going to have fans in the fan base that act like that, why are the coaches and players going to give a shit what we think? Why are they going to care? Because you got so many who are just ready to run out on them and quit on the team. But that's one thing that I cannot stand about the atmosphere at Notre Dame Stadium either. There is too much of a cheese and wine crowd. And Ben just said it in our last video, which was the Louisville preview. You're not there to watch a ballet. And I said this part. It's not a golf tournament. You are there to make noise and make it tough for the opponent. But we really haven't been doing that as of late. Do you really think many teams are intimidated to come play us at South Bend? And I hate saying this. I hear myself saying it and I hate it, but it's true. I mean, I guess last year against USC it wasn't too bad, but a lot of the times, you're hearing head coaches say, oh, we enjoyed playing there and we loved it and it was great. It's not supposed to be a great experience. It's supposed to be a place where you don't want to come and play. So it's just like, what the hell's going on? So I don't know. What do you guys think? I want to hear your thoughts. Because I mean, a lot of this stuff that I'm saying now, Ben and I have been saying it for a long time now, and we've said it numerous times. And of course, even going back to the whole ticket situation when a big game comes to town. 2000 against Nebraska, stadium half red. Georgia, 2017, stadium half red, maybe even more. So it tells me that a lot of people seem to care only about money than they do the team. And that's specifically to the season ticket holders. Cheese and wine crowd equals the stuffed shirt politically correct, please. Yeah. Hey, JF Priest, I know you've been a regular viewer for a while. Renee Martinez and then Brian and Sarah Jamesway, whichever one of you guys is watching. Brian Taylor, I don't think I've seen him here before. Maybe. There's a lot of similar names from time to time, but you guys, the bottom line is you guys know very well Ben and I are not politically correct guys. We have something to say, we're going to say it. And I'm not afraid to say the truth. I mean, I love this team. I respect the players. I respect the coaches. But at least Ben and I acknowledge that when we say something or when we criticize, we're not comparing or criticizing the guys, comparing them to us, but rather amongst their peers. But no, this thing with the stadium, the cheese and wine crowd equals the stuffed shirt politically correct. Politically correct. Please say that 5 times fast. It's true. It's true. And I've experienced that. You got my buddy Shamrock Jerry, my buddy from across the pond in Ireland. He came to his it was technically his second game because he was there the year before for the Stanford game in 2010. But 2011 against Southern Florida, another game that we had no business losing. Another disgraceful day. No joke. There was this woman telling him to sit down and be quiet. And, of course, he says with his Irish charm and accent, "What do you mean you're telling me to sit down and be quiet? I'm here to watch a football game. I'm here to get loud. I'm here to have a good time. I'm here to help the team. And you're telling me to sit down? What are you here in the stadium for?" I will never understand it. It's like, go to the Horseshoe in Columbus and tell them to be quiet, or the Big House to sit down and be quiet, or down in Miami to tell them and sit down and be quiet. They'll tell you to go fuck yourselves. But no, a lot of us, we seem to just oblige by that, to honor that request. I mean, honestly, it's like if you don't want to be there, don't go. But what's even more pathetic for like the selling ticket stuff, the justifications that I've had people give for it is just unbelievable. Like one of the dumbest ones I ever heard was like in regards to the Georgia game, but this could apply to Nebraska back in 2000 as well. Some people tell me, "Oh, Sean, maybe people need to pay their rent or get groceries or something." Bullshit. Bullshit. Let me tell you guys something. You guys know this without even me having to explain it. The two of the biggest games that have come to South Bend, number one Nebraska in 2000, and then highly touted Georgia in 2017. Once in a lifetime matchups that we may never see again. Who knows? If you had a ticket to either of those games or any big game that comes to South Bend, you are not struggling financially or trying to make ends meet. All right? You are doing pretty well for yourself. You are, in that scenario, you are just greedy and money hungry. And I'm not saying don't make your money when you can get it. I'm all for that. I think, capitalism, I'm all for the capitalism and all that. But to sell out your team in a big game like that when they need you there, as many fans as possible, and you betray them like that, no, fuck you. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. But to try to come at me with that bullshit, well, we need to pay the rent and feed our... Shut the hell up. I mean, let me tell you guys something. I would never sell my ticket if I had one to a big game, or any game for that matter, but focusing strictly on the big ones that come to South Bend. Never would I sell my ticket. The only way that I would ever do that and sell my ticket to a big game is if it was, no joke, a life or death situation. And I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. So let's say, I don't know, let's say one of my parents, they're in the hospital and they need to have it's serious and they need to have this life-saving surgery, but their health insurance isn't going to cover it. And then, let's say they're like 30 grand short of what they need. to be able to have the surgery. Well, in that one scenario, if somebody from the other team offered me $30,000 for a ticket, and I knew this money would save one of my parents' life, that's the only time I would do it. Any other time, no. So yeah, only in a life or death situation would I sell a ticket. And of course, I'd like to think anybody would in that case, because, of course, that's definitely something that's more important than a football game. Because if you have a chance to save a loved one's life doing that, then that's a little different. But if you're doing it just because you're selfish and you just want the money, then screw you. But no, this stadium takeover stuff, I mean, no other major program in college football lets that happen. But for us, we're like, nah, whatever. We think it's acceptable. Because let me tell you guys something. I was down. I mean, I didn't go in the stadium for this, but I was down in Athens. For some reason, that's the other game I was forgetting. But I was in Athens for Notre Dame, Georgia in 2019. And I'm sure a lot of those Georgia fans, I'm sure they got lucrative offers for their tickets from Notre Dame fans. And they said, no, we're supporting our team. Nick, you just showed up. Dude, here's the link. You got to get in here. I want to talk to you. I've been waiting for you to show up. So Nick, if you got a couple minutes, click that link and get your butt in here. Imagine telling a Penn State fan at Whiteout game in Happy Valley to sit down and shut up. Notre Dame needs to bring the home field noise advantage they had way back in the day. Well, that's just it. We've gotten everything that we've asked for. Upgrade to the stadium, the video board, things to help with the noise, and we're not using it. And here he is, guys. Let's bring in our champion, Nick Dean. Nick, welcome, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Listen, you know why I brought you on, obviously. You still with us?
Yeah, I got a lag again. I'm on my phone.
Okay.
We had a tree fall at the house today.
Ooh, you guys
no
all
power.
Right? Everybody all right?
Yeah, we're doing okay. The REMC is supposed to be here to hook us back up real soon, but the tree hit the supply line and took everything out.
Yeah, that sucks. I've had to deal with that too. But dude, I gotta tell you, you're my new hero.
Man, I'll tell you what, that challenge was a little tougher than it looked that last 5 minutes or so. Woo.
Well, again, I apologize for the lack of post challenge commentary, but like I said, we wanted to have you here for a live show to talk to you about it. And all I can say is, dude, that was incredible. 15 sliders and a pint of Guinness in under 12 minutes. You're a freaking animal, dude.
It was fun.
Oh, I still have stingers, and I'm looking to make out of that video.
Yeah, it was fun. What happened? Did Ben get the 4 Happy Meals down?
No, we haven't done that yet. See, here's the thing. I know he's not going to beat it because there's no way he's going to take out 5. It's actually 5 Happy Meals. He's not going to take that out in 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's tough.
Well, you see, I only did that because he lost a bet from our UFL betting, and all that stuff, and that's actually set up to be his punishment. So even if he did beat it, he's still going to be miserable, and that's the idea of a punishment.
Yeah, the only thing that was worse than the slider challenge was losing to Northern Illinois later that day.
We've been talking about that on here. And yeah, myself, I was very physically ill that day because I'm just like, how the hell does that happen? That never in a million years should ever happen. Losing to a team like that. And it's just, we're playing like shit. We lose the game. And then of course you have everything following with it, and rightfully so, fans getting pissed off and whatnot. And I swear to God, dude, sometimes it's like, are they doing this on purpose? Are they throwing the game? Is there point shaving going on or something crazy like that?
I don't know. I think Freeman gets a little high on himself, the team gets a little high on itself, and they do something stupid like that. That and Marshall and Stanford.
Well, honestly, I don't. And the funny thing is, I don't think that it's him getting cocky. I think it's him getting nervous. Because there's some things I feel going on that we're not being told. Like, I don't know if it's Riley's not 100%. I don't know if it's almost like Freeman can outcoach himself sometimes.
My biggest frustration is somebody's got to see that Riley Leonard's not doing well. Replace him. Put Angeli in. Put Minchie in. Somebody.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I want the kid to succeed. I like Riley Leonard. He's a good dude. And I want him to be, Mr. Heisman and all that, but obviously that's not going to be the case. But I just hope tomorrow that if it's another one of those days where he's not able to pass the ball, or if he's having problems, then you got to have Angeli or Minchie on standby. So, and I've said this a couple times already in the show, but swallow your damn pride, Marcus, and put in somebody else. Because at the end of the day, it's about the team, not the individual. I know you worked really hard to bring Riley Leonard here. He was highly sought after. You got him, but okay, it's not working. So think about the team, not an individual.
Hey, Sean, I hate to do this, but I got to go. The REMC just got here to hook up the power. So have a good show, man, and go Irish.
Yeah, go Irish, and thank you for doing that challenge for us. And like Ben and I said, we're gonna have we'll talk about this later, but we're looking to give you like a $50 Visa card, a Visa gift card. Okay, he left a little early, but no, Nick, like I was saying, he's gonna get a nice $50 Visa gift card for us because he took the time to do that. And I mean, to do that for us, a very small show like this, just over 1,200 subscribers, that's loyalty right there. And we always honor, our viewers that do that stuff for us. And which we didn't even ask him to do it. We just brought it up as a suggestion. So, no, Nick is definitely a super fan for sure now. But of course, you guys know we're not about exploiting anybody or laughing at anybody or anything like that. We're about having fun, and we're looking to do stuff like that ourselves. I mean, hell, Ben still has 3 more bets to honor that he lost, and I don't know if you guys remember it, but he did honor the first bet that he lost, and that was. He had to call up some random person and ask for their hand in marriage. And then another punishment that he has to serve is he has to do 1 episode dressed as Papa Smurf. He one punishment, and I'm thinking I might abandon this one, but he has to get his chest and his stomach waxed But that one, he has a choice. He can either let me do it with duct tape or he can go to the salon and get it done. But these last 3 punishments, I'm thinking about doing something where it's all in one. And then we're the house, we're square again he's square again with the house. So the wheels are always turning in this mind of how I can, how I can make it really good, make it really funny. You guys have ideas? I'd love to hear them. Like how to punish Ben for a lost bet. But yeah, hopefully Nick and his family, they have their power and stuff back on pretty soon. So we wish him nothing but the best. But yeah, 7 people watching. Come on, guys, let's get those comments going, get it flowing. There's the link to come into the stream. If you want to talk to me, come on in and talk. Yeah, JF Priest, I have the game on right now, and that was a nice kick. Real nice kick. So let's go Hokies. I don't know if any of you guys saw this, but let's see, when was it? I know it was definitely before the season. I want to say it was back in June or July. Joey Foster, the voice of college football, West Virginia, I was on his show, and we were actually talking about Notre Dame, Miami, and the history and all that. And that was really good. I enjoyed talking to those guys. But just at first, though, they were going to bring on another Miami fan to talk in that show as well. And I'm like, nah, it's not a good idea because this is one that I have history with. But really, a lot of Miami fans that I've encountered on here and whatnot, they've all been pretty cool except for this one in particular. But yeah, anyway, I digress a little bit. But the $1 million question is Miami finally back? I mean, yeah, the ranking shows it, but the question is, can they keep it? I'm old enough to remember the Catholics versus Convicts T-shirt days. Go Virginia Tech. I know about it. I mean, I was only 2 years old when that was going down. But I got to tell you, I got to tell you guys something. Watching that 30 for 30 documentary, Catholics versus Convicts, boy, though, unless those Miami players were just doing it for show, I got to tell you, they sure do know how to put on award-winning performances, especially Leon Searcy. You know, all these guys saying when they saw that shirt for the first time, I was really offended to see that. That hurt me. And then Leon Searcy in particular saying things like, man, how could they call me a criminal? I was offered scholarships by this school and that school, schools in the Ivy League, and so on. I'm like, really, dude? Of all the things in the world, that's what offends you? And Miami got it back to a 7-point game. But really, you're acting all offended over that when there's a lot more serious things for you to be offended over. It's like, get the fuck out of here. But the funny thing is, before that 30 for 30, and when they had the 2-parter on the U itself, they're all acting big and bad and arrogant and cocky and full of themselves. But then they put on the I'm offended act. It's like, shut up. And then I remember also a few of those guys showed up on the 30 for 30 series called Broke. So what does that tell you? So we have reached halftime, Miami and Virginia Tech. still halftime here at on watching on my phone. It's still halftime for Geneseo Galesburg. Anyway, any comments, questions, thoughts from anybody? And if any of those thoughts are, oh, I think you're an asshole, Sean, tell me something I don't know. That's a great thing when it's either just one of us or the two of us. We never come into a live stream with a plan. We always just like to freelance it, if you will. Do things on the fly. Oh, I'm just trying to think of what we could talk about here. Because I don't want to just keep ranting and raving about, the negative stuff. But in regards to all that with the stadium and our fans and selling tickets and all that I do agree needs to be called out. The more people saying that, the better. The lacrosse player, Jordan Faison, or Faison, however you pronounce it. He was in the game last week, so he should be good to go for tomorrow. But I can look it up real quick. Notre Dame injury update. Well, I know Cooper Flanagan, the tight end, he's out. No, he should be good to go. It says he's active. I'm not seeing him on any other injury reports. He didn't do much, but I remember hearing his name called, that he was at least targeted. Yeah, he was he had no receptions against Miami of Ohio. I think he was targeted a couple times. But yeah, no, he should be. He's full go. Anyway, what's some? We got a few big games this weekend. Of course, we got Alabama, Georgia. There's another big one. Which games are more aside from us? Which games are intriguing to you guys? I'm sorry, guys. This is the time of year where allergies start to kick in. Let's see. No, I just want the top 25. Come on. Okay. So let's look at some of the big ones here. Yeah, so obviously we got Alabama, Georgia. Us in Louisville. Let's look at some other intriguing ones here. We got Kentucky and Ole Miss. You think Kentucky can pull it off, guys? Another intriguing matchup, Illinois at Penn State. Can the Illini pull off the upset? And then one that I'm looking at is Utah and Arizona. I think Arizona could give the Utes a little run for their money. Yes, USC against Wisconsin. Oh, that's going to be a fun matchup, I'm sure. But then again, who knows? There's been a few big-time matchups that were kind of a letdown. See, right now, I mean, of course, like everybody else, I mean, I'm looking forward to Alabama and Georgia, but a lot of the games that I'm focusing on are the teams that are right ahead of us in the polls. Which, of course, I know everybody doesn't think the AP poll matters, and you're right. It's not the ending poll that matters. The one that matters the most is the playoff rankings when they come around. But it's just, the thing is, while we're still in while we're still in the Associated Press poll, you know, it sets you up for when the, you know, it helps you get your position for when the college football playoff rankings get here, when they start up. So that's where I'm focusing on, is not only hoping that we win tomorrow, but all these teams that are right in front of us, like Utah and Penn State, and well, there's some are off too, I believe. But the weird thing is, you know, since you mentioned Wisconsin and USC, that's where it's a little tricky for me, because do I want USC to win? Or let me start with this. Do I want Wisconsin to beat them, or do I want USC to win so that they stay as highly ranked as possible when we play them? It's one of those dilemma games that I call. Because, I mean, obviously we're 16 and Louisville's 15, so that's one automatic spot we could jump up with a win. I mean, Arizona win over Utah, that would help. UCLA over Oregon, that would help too, but I'm not anticipating that one. Because Arizona, I think, has a shot against Utah. Okay. Like I said, man, these little dilemma games where it's like, do I want the Trojans to win, or any said team? Do I want them to win to help us, or do I hope for them to lose? It's crazy, I know. But no, Arizona, Utah, I think will be very intriguing, and so will Illinois and Penn State. I mean, yeah, you could say, you know, Kentucky playing Ole Miss. Now, Kentucky, they've been let's look at them real quick. You know, they got blown out by South Carolina, but man, did they give Georgia a run for their money. That's Kentucky's. The Wildcats are one of those teams where they are very shifty and streaky, if you will. So do they have what it takes to beat Ole Miss? I don't know. So let's go to Ole Miss here for a second. Yeah, I mean, because Ole Miss, they've just been beating the shit out of everybody they played. Furman 76-0. Middle Tennessee State 52-3. Wake Forest 40-6. Georgia Southern 52-13. So, I don't know. Fred Benson, what's up? Let's see what you have to say here. What were the latest lines on Notre Dame Louisville? I think the Irish are favorites. Also, the day after Nick ate 15 sliders in 12 minutes, I enjoyed 4 sliders from White Castle. Awesome, dude. I don't know what the line is. I don't really bet. I'm not a gambling man. I'm really not a gambler. I can look it up though. Okay, for this is just off ESPN. Notre Dame, it's -6.5, over under 46.5 points. Yeah, so, yep, Notre Dame is the favorite in that game. 6.5 points. But, yeah, going back to the whole White Castle thing, I'll never forget Ben's reaction when I told him that I never had White Castle. What? But the thing is, where I grew up, like here in the Quad Cities, there wasn't one around here. There never has been one around here. The closest one is in the Chicagoland area. So, well, anyway, guys, I think I'm probably going to go for probably about 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to get off of here. But yeah, anybody who has any questions or anything, or if you want to come in and talk for a few minutes, go for it. I'll go ahead and post the link again. Yeah, very few people want to get on here and actually talk to us. You don't got to be shy. No, I get it. It's not everybody's thing to get on camera. And I respect that. And believe me, I know. Like when you have things happen like losing to Northern Illinois, oh my God. And you got to show up and do a post game and more videos to follow and all the assholes that pop up out of nowhere. It's like, man, when you're already embarrassed enough, you get more shit that adds on to the pile. And it's hard to get on camera sometimes. It really is. Plus, I think, even if a bad loss doesn't happen, it's still not always easy getting on camera. Because there's always that thing in the back of your mind, like, how do you sound? Are you screwing up? Are you fuddling with your words too much? word salad type ordeal. Well, hey, word salad, if that's how I'm talking, then I could run for president. Chang. I didn't give too much away, did there? Or did I? Yeah. If I was out of line, I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't resist, though. Because I know not all of us have the same political affiliations. I'm just about being funny. That's all. So, but no, yeah, Ben and I, of course, we're always looking for new things to do here on the show and try to get you guys more involved. Nick Dean is a perfect example of that. But we're just all about having fun. And we always appreciate you guys watching us. I hope we at least give you something, some kind of joy or or joy or laugh or whatever for your day. But no, I mean we're not a big channel or anything. We're small. We have just over 1,200 subs, but we love doing it for you guys. Because that's 1,200 people that have taken their time to give us a shot. Even if that was 100 people, we still feel the same way. But yeah, guys, I'm all just about out of stuff to talk about here. I don't really have anything else much on my mind to discuss, really. And my high school alma mater, they just started the second half. They scored a touchdown before half. I didn't even see that. So they're up. So I guess I wasn't giving them enough credit on the when I was talking about them poor tackling and all that. But anybody who's not from Illinois, you're not going to know what I'm talking about anyway. But I still stand by that the conference that my high school joined, my high school alma mater. God, I hate this. I still don't think they should have joined the conference that they did. Basically, the only reason the administration did that was to save on travel. Personally, I think I'm not going to go into all of it, but the idea that they had before is almost looking better. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just not being fair, but it's just the conference that we're in now. I mean, there's a couple of 7A teams in there. We're the smallest school in the conference. There was a smaller school, but it's a private Catholic school, but they had to shut down their football program because they don't have enough kids. Not enough kids were going out for football, so they had to suspend operations, if you will. But I don't know. I guess my thing is when it comes to that, one of the biggest reasons they voted for us to join the conference that we're in is travel purposes, save money on travel. Because put it this way, the farthest school away is 2.5 hours downstate, and then the rest are all like within 20 to 45 minutes, something like that. But no, this conference, it's called the Western Big Six. And, well, a lot of tough teams. Really tough. It's just the problem is ever since we joined this conference, we've gone backwards. And I think I said this earlier, but we have our current coach. This is his first year with the program. And so, of course, there's going to be growing pains with that. But I don't know. Well, anyway, guys, I think that's going to do it for tonight. I don't really have anything else unless somebody wants to add something in the next minute. But I'm pretty much done. I have nothing else for tonight. I just looking forward to the game tomorrow, and hopefully we can come out with a nice victory, get back on track. Because this is hands down this is our last chance to prove it. So it's either win or go home, essentially. Oh, hi Evan. Mine was 27-20. And of course, I had to make it in heart attack fashion. I said that 27-20, Notre Dame scores that touchdown within the last 2 minutes. So I'm expecting a heart attack type game tomorrow. And I think, what did Ben say? I think Ben said 28-24, but I could be wrong. But his was closer than mine. I know that much. Well, of course it does. I mean, they kill us with all these close encounters. Let's see what Virginia Tech does here. Second half underway down in Miami. Virginia Tech is looking to have a third and about 6. So all I can say is let's go Hokies. So, well, I just saw this. Appalachian State cancels game with Liberty. Interesting. I'll have to read more into that. Screw it. We'll look it up right now. Oh, because of the hurricane. Durr. Nope, Evan, that's exactly what it was. It was because of the hurricane. I mean, I'm in Illinois, so I don't really. When there's a hurricane down south, I'm not really focusing on it. It's no disrespect. It's just up here. What's more concerning to us is tornadoes and snow. Almost all high school games got canceled today in Indy. Really? So where all is this hurricane hitting at? I mean, obviously in down south, of course, but when you say Indy, yeah, that's 50 to 60 miles an hour. That's pretty rough. That's crazy, man. Oh, okay, just the aftermath. Category 4. Yeah, okay, yeah. Because obviously that makes sense, because when you got a hurricane that's traveling north, yeah, I mean, yeah, even up north, you're still going to feel the heavy rains from it. So that makes sense. That makes sense. I see what you're saying, because I was confused at first why you said Indy. If you look on the radar, that's massive. Yes, yeah. If it's coming up that north, or that far north, yeah, I've got it right now. Helen will bring rain, wind to south central Indiana Thursday and Friday. Oh yeah, yeah. I see it now. I see the what you call it on the storm tracker. Yeah, that is some whew. Green meaning flash flood, and yellow or orange meaning special marine. There's a lot of green here. Yeah, not so much on my end of things, because I'm in north central Illinois, close to Iowa. But yeah, Terre Haute, Lafayette, Kokomo, Plymouth. Yeah, it's Fort Wayne. Yeah, they're looking to get hit with a lot of rain. Holy shit. Well, all right, guys. On that note, I'm gonna get off of here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you guys had some fun, even though I can be kind of boring sometimes. But thank you so much for showing up, and you guys have a great night. God bless, and go Irish. Beat the Cardinals.